WWE Backlash took place tonight, and it featured the greatest wrestling match ever. Well, not really, but it was still a really good match, and that was the main event with Edge and Randy Orton. But we'll get to that at the end. We always start with the beginning. You had to show off, start with the kickoff show, and you had Apollo Crews against Andrade, a match I think I've seen a million times on Raw. I would have rather just seen Zelina Vega for the full duration of the 7 minutes in this match. They showed the camera on Zelina, but they're teasing tension with Angel Garza and Andrade. I'm sure they'll split them up soon. Apollo Crews gets the win. Probably a match you've seen on Raw a million times. You had Kevin Owens also get involved during this match. You had Sheamus cut a promo backstage, and he whipped into Jeff Hardy. Finally, the main show starts, and this is Backlash. Our opening match is a triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown, or for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, with the SmackDown Women's Champion along with the Tag Team Champion Bayley and her partner Sasha Banks, both champs, defending against the team they beat a couple weeks ago, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and the IIconics, Peyton, Royce, and Billie Kay. So it is also worth noting that the winners would defend their titles Wednesday on NXT against Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox. You had Alexa and Nikki come out first. Alexa looking great, as she always does. And then you had the IIconics coming out. And then you had Sasha and Bayley. And instead of them coming out first, they were doing an interview with Kayla Braxton backstage. Kayla is trying to tease dissent between the two of them. Sasha goes out for her entrance, and then Bayley rips into Kayla bad and says her and Sasha are closer than ever, basically. Bayley and her come out, and that's how the opening match starts. Wow, so it started off, there was a lot of botches here. This was not a long match, it was only about 9 minutes, but it was not great. What you had here was, looking in this match, I think Bayley is very good. I think Sasha's obviously very good. I think Nikki Cross can be good. I think Alexa Bliss with the right person can be good. She has good chemistry with Sasha. I've always noticed that between the two of them. There's always been rumors that they have heat, there's tension between the two of them, but they have good chemistry. So Alexa can work with the right people. She can have decent matches. Of course, the IIconics are horrendous. Peyton Royce is not very good, and Billie Kay is just one of the worst. So they had Billie Kay a lot more in this match than Peyton Royce. And you had Billie Kay, Nikki Cross, and Bayley didn't care. I'd like to see Sasha, Alexa, and Peyton Royce in the ring more, because those are like the three hottest chicks in the match. Yeah, you had Alexa and Sasha go back and forth near the end, and how it ended was Bayley, Nikki, and Billie, God, are all on the outside. Comes down to Alexa and Peyton Royce. Alexa Bliss hits her finisher on Peyton Royce. She hits a twist of Bliss. It's going to be over. Then Sasha Banks grabs Alexa Bliss, and she rolls up Alexa, and she gets her in like a reverse sunset flip. So it's Sasha has Alexa's arms down, and she grabs Alexa's legs like really hard. She squished down on Alexa, her legs down, and she gets the win on Alexa Bliss, and Sasha Banks and Bayley retain the title. So it was a bit shorter than I expected, but that's how they did it. They have the champs go over here, and we'll see. They could lose on this Wednesday in NXT, but I think the future here is eventually they're going to split up Bayley and Sasha. Are going to do the match. I think Alexa and Nikki should be done as a team. I'd like to see Alexa go as a singles face, finally have a decent run, and the IIconics, I think, should just be jobbers. I know they're just good eye candy, but they offer nothing. They had Braun Strowman arrive in the arena in his vehicle. Next, he had Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. I thought this went on a bit too long. This was a very long matchup. I felt like a war. They built this up good with the angle on SmackDown. I thought the angle on SmackDown was more entertaining than this match, to be quite honest. It went on for a while. You had some near falls. You had a spot in the match where it got really exciting, where it looked like they were going to do a lot of crazy stuff on the outside, but then it went back in the ring and it slowed down a bit. How this match ends is when Jeff Hardy hit the Swanton Bomb against Sheamus. The match is over, but then Sheamus gets his foot on the ropes. Jeff takes him to the outside. He does a spot where he jumps off the steel scepter. He gets hit with the brogue. Sheamus takes him back in the ring, hits him with the second brogue. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus wins. Went too long. You could have cut off about 4 or 5 minutes here. It was still a good matchup. They give Sheamus the win, and I assume this feud continues, and they'll have another match, I'm certain, at Extreme Rules. Kayla Braxton interviews Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. They seem surprised when they're interrupted by Otis and Mandy, and Otis says, I'm going to cash in on Money in the Bank if you win, and Mandy says he'll do that. We see Mandy talking. I don't know how much longer this Mandy Otis pairing, but that basically is a teaser that's going to happen, which should not. He had Asuka and Nia Jax, Roman's title. Hated this match. Nia Jax is just horrendous. She's so lazy in the ring. She's so sloppy. She's out of shape. She can't move. She's fat. She's just awful in the ring. She should not be getting this opportunity. And what's so infuriating isn't the fact that Asuka didn't win. It's the fact that this feud's going to continue to Extreme Rules. Whenever they do a finish like this, like a lot of the matches here seem like it was designed to continue to the next show. There's going to be a lot of second matches. Sheamus, Hardy, Asuka, Nia was another example. I'm almost certain there's going to be a rematch at Extreme Rules, and Asuka will probably finish off Nia Jax on that show, but this is how they set this up. It was not a good match. Nia Jax is horrendous. The match eventually is a horrendous match. It sucked, and then finish made it even a million times worse. They're on the outside, they both get counted out, and it's over. Asuka retains, and the feud has to continue. It was a horrible match, probably the worst match on the show. He had MVP on the phone ordering champagne. Lana interrupts him, and then you have them set up that match for later in the show. You have a handicap match. You had Braun Strowman against Miz and Morrison. You had Miz and Morrison come on. They're doing their new video package. It's not their music video. It's not the whole Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Fuck, I like that. It's got stuck in my head. But they're doing it, and eventually the Strowman Express interrupts, and Braun Strowman has a new Train Express as his entrance. Strowman interrupts them, and this wasn't a long match. It was 7 minutes. It was quick. I don't think anyone wants to see this go on for too long. Miz and Morrison got the upper hand for a while, but eventually Strowman fights out of it. Strowman takes control later, and we all knew Strowman was going to win. It was just like, let's just get this over with. They had a near fall where Miz and Morrison looked like they had Strowman beat for a while, but then Morrison has the pin. Miz pulls him off. They argue, and then Strowman kills both of them. He gives Miz a choke slam, and then he takes on Miz, and he gives Morrison the power slam, pins John Morrison. He is still the Universal Champion. Braun wins. His car would not win, though. They recap AJ Styles beating Daniel Bryan to win the title on SmackDown, and then we have Kayla Braxton interview AJ Styles, and he basically is turning heel here. He kind of mocks Daniel Bryan, and looks like there's definitely going to be an AJ Styles heel turn, and there's going to be a celebration on SmackDown, so AJ's heel. Main event for the WWE title is Drew McIntyre against Bobby Lashley, and I'm surprisingly, I couldn't believe how much I liked it. I thought this was actually a good match, and I was not excited for this match. I'm not a fan of Drew as champ. I think he's been boring. I always thought he's boring. Lashley is... never been a fan of Lashley. So I didn't care. The match got entertaining. It had Lashley put a full Nelson on him. It looks like, is that going to be it for McIntyre? The way they're doing it, man, Lashley's going to win the belt here. And it seemed like this is going to be a long feud because of what's happening with Jinder Mahal. Mahal, he's going to be out for a while. You can't do McIntyre and Mahal. You can do McIntyre and Lashley. And how I feel about this was, if they would have both put the belt on Lashley, I think it would have been too obvious because of what's going on in the real world right now as to why they would do that. But it would have been a horrible idea. I wouldn't mind it. Like, you know what? Maybe it does good in the ratings because McIntyre's not setting the world on fire. So part of me was like, I kind of wanted Lashley to win the match. I wanted to see the reaction. I wanted to see what they would do with it. That didn't happen, but they had a good matchup here. I enjoyed it for most of it. It was a hard-hitting match. These guys were kicking each other's ass. It seemed like they were really, going out there with something to prove. The match sucked at the end, though, and it kind of hurt it. Lana comes out. She didn't need to be there, but she comes out, and she gets involved, and she gets to fight with MVP, and then she gets up on the apron, and she gets knocked down. She falls into MVP, and then Lashley gets his head taken off, basically, with a Claymore kick, a hard Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3, McIntyre pins him. Horrible finish, but it was a good match. It was too bad that the finish had to ruin it, but I thought it was a good matchup still. The Street Profits Viking Raider segment is fucking horrendous. This was the worst part of this show. Even worse than Asuka and Nia Jax. I mean, that had some stuff in there, so at least the matches was just the shittiest thing. It was basically a cinematic match, and they were fighting all throughout backstage throughout the Performance Center. It was just the worst shit you'd ever see. There's some stupid motorcycle gang comes in, some giant black guy with the sword. I was like, what the fuck am I even watching? It was a horrible matchup. There's dumpsters. They destroy Braun Strowman's car. So this is going to be a running gag where Strowman gets his car destroyed. But I was hoping Strowman would just come and kill everyone. That didn't happen. It was just awful. They get locked in the dumpsters. Just the shittiest stuff. Probably the worst feud of the year. Main event is really cool. Randy Orton against Edge. So they have a good video package. They come out. And they have Madison Square Garden style ring in that introduction. And we hear Howard Finkel's voice. I almost brought a tear to my eye. They used old audio of Howard Finkel introducing each guy with an old MSG mic hanging above the ring, which was so cool. It was like the tear-jerking moment. Like, oh, man, that was so cool they did something like that. Charles Robinson's a referee, and he's wearing an old-style Madison Square Garden 1980s referee outfit with a powder blue shirt and a bow tie, which was awesome. And all of a sudden, I can't... Wow, this is going to be cool. The presentation was damn. I was thinking, is this going to be like a cinematic match? It wasn't. It was a hell of a fucking match. I couldn't believe it. They were trying to say this is the greatest wrestling match ever. Obviously not that, but they had a hell of a matchup here. I was blown away. I thought this was... Wow, I thought this was a fantastic matchup. It was long. It was too long. It was 45 minutes. It could have... It's not like the WrestleMania match where it's boring. But this was a fun matchup. This was great. This was a lot of fun to watch. And it flew by. The WrestleMania match felt like I was watching like paint dry. This went by fast. It did not feel like 45 minutes. Felt long, but not 45 minutes. You had a lot of near falls. I thought Randy Orton was great here. His athletic ability, him jumping, the way he's moving in the ring, how smooth and fluent he is. I thought Orton was amazing in this match. I thought Edge did great in this match as well. I liked how he brought back the Edge-O-Matic spot. We haven't seen that in forever. Orton, I thought, hit a really cool neck breaker to Edge during the match. It's usually a backwarder. He turned into a neck breaker for this because of the problems with Edge. And they had some very memorable parts in here. I can't recap the whole match, but there was a lot of kickouts. I think Edge kicked out of 2 RKOs. Orton at least kicked out of 2 spears. They used classic Attitude Era moves. You had Randy Orton hit Edge with a pedigree. He had Randy Orton before to hit Edge with an angle slam. You had a crippler crossface. They can't mention who that is, obviously, but they did that spot. There was a rock bottom by, was it Edge? He hit the rock bottom. They used everything. This was cool. The fans were awesome here. The wrestlers, the NXT stars in there, they were cheating. This is awesome. I thought this was just a fantastic matchup. How this comes near the end is Edge gets the head and arm choke, and it's called the anti-venom. But Orton, he basically kicks out of it. They tease like he hit him in the balls, or we don't know, but it looks like he hit him down low. And all of a sudden, Orton goes back and he hits the big Randy Orton punch. We never see that in a while, but he hits his punch. He KOs Edge. 1, 2, 3, Randy Orton defeats Edge. He wins this 45-minute thriller, a classic matchup. And he wins. After the match, he gets into Edge's face, tells him to go home, and a stretcher gets in there for Edge. He brushed him off, but Orton looks on as the show ends. This was an excellent match, and we've had 2 great matches in the last 3 days. The Daniel Bryan AJ Styles match on SmackDown, and the Edge and Randy Orton match. Probably the 2 best matches we've seen from WWE all year. This was an excellent matchup. I was blown away. I thought it was great. I don't know if Edge is hurt. There's rumors he is. That would be terrible. And I hope this doesn't end his career, because if he did tear his triceps, that would be a horrible way for his career to end. But this was a great matchup. This made the show. It was built around this match, the greatest wrestling match of all time. Is it the best match ever? Of course not. But was it a damn good match and a great main event? You bet it was. And I thought that is what carried the show, was the great main event.